2025, the year of somber farewells. The year of goodbyes would be the theme for 2025. Not just any goodbyes, but ones that evoke strong emotions, evoke sentimentality, and serve as a reminder of the profound influence that a narrative may have on one's life. This year marks the last farewell of some of the most popular television programs and film franchises that shaped our streaming preferences. These stories served as our comfort zones for years. They were the settings we returned to after exhausting days, the people who seemed like old friends, and the plots that kept us up till 3 a.m, muttering to ourselves, just one more episode. They are now concluding their last chapters one by one. And as fans, we're left feeling both happy and sad. Because, let's face it, we're curious to see how things turn out. The knowledge that there won't be another season waiting to continue where we left off, however, also gives me a stab of sadness. There won't be any more well-known theme songs, wild Reddit speculations, or emotional mayhem on release nights. Just the end. A year of graduation for the tales we were raised with. 2025 resembles a pop culture commencement in many respects. As they take their last bows, the television series and films that have influenced this era of streaming entertainment leave a lasting legacy. Every farewell this year seems personal, from the intense missions of Mission Impossible to the strange nostalgia of Stranger Things, from the heartbreaking tenderness of The Summer I Turned Pretty to the unnerving excitement of You. Every story had a unique effect on us. Perhaps you fell in love with Hawkins' Pandemonium, where children experienced both growing pains and monsters in equal measure. Or perhaps Joe Goldberg's perverted charm captivated you, making you hate him but unable to turn away. Perhaps you experienced the surge of adrenaline as Ethan Hunt risked everything once more to save the world, or you found yourself ugly crying over Belly's summer heartbreaks. The fact that so many of these stories, so legendary, but so different, are coming to an end at the same moment is mind-blowing. An era comes to an end with Stranger Things. Let's begin with Stranger Things, the Netflix phenomenon that revolutionized television. It was an unexpected blend of sci-fi terror, small-town heart, and nostalgia for the 1980s when it debuted in 2016. Both we and the Hawkins children grew up in front of our eyes. The 2025 release of the last season feels significant. Fans are preparing themselves for heartache as the Duffers promise an epic and poignant ending. Stranger Things has always been about more than alternate realms and creatures, after all. It's about loyalty, camaraderie, and finding light in the midst of a dark world. Only will a show come to an end after the last credits have rolled, but an era that shaped Netflix as a whole will also be over. The Summer I Became Beautiful, a final heartbreak. Next is Amazon's swoon-worthy coming-of-age series, The Summer I Turned Pretty, which made teen angst a global topic of discussion. Millions of people found solace in the show, which was based on Jenny Han's well-loved novels. Belly, Conrad, and Jeremiah were more than simply fictional characters, they served as emotional role models for anyone who had ever struggled with growing up or been caught between friendship and love. The emotional cadence was set by Taylor Swift's lyrics, making every moment evoke memories of your own first sorrow. As the story comes to a close, the thought of leaving Cousins Beach is nearly agonizing. It all seems like the end of something innocent, the summer parties, the pastel sunsets, the silent heartbreaks. It's not simply about Belly's choice in the last season. It's about letting go, of youth, of summer, of what seemed limitless. Mission, the last run, impossible. As we wipe away our tears, Mission Impossible prepares for its final bold move. With each outrageous stunt, Tom Cruise, who has played Ethan Hunt for almost 30 years, redefines action movie making. The impending finale marks the end of a cinematic period based on brutality, accuracy, and unadulterated excitement. It's not simply another espionage movie. The franchise never lost its appeal despite surviving reboots, cultural changes, and a changing Hollywood. It feels significant to watch Cruise go through explosives and jump over cliffs for the final time. Not only is Ethan's mission coming to an end, but so is ours. The audience's everlasting relationship with one of the most enduring heroes in film is coming to an end. That has a peculiarly poetic quality. You, the termination of fixation. Since its premiere, Netflix's You has served as a masterwork of moral tension. Joe Goldberg is not your average television antagonist, he is affable, intelligent, and terrifyingly self-aware. We were forced to consider why we support the villain in the show. Why are we unable to turn away? The series now promises a reckoning as the last season approaches. The theme of Joe's story has always been the delusions people make about identity, love, and power. In many respects, this conclusion seems long overdue. Joe needs to confront the repercussions of his actions. It's also time for the audience to finally take a step back and stop staring into his eyes. Why these conclusions are so upsetting? The personal nature of these stories is what makes the 2025 finale lineup more impactful than most. They were more than just amusement, they supported us emotionally as we went through various phases of life. Consider this: Stranger Things began while binge-watching television was still relatively new. Comfort TV was all the rage when The Summer I Turned Pretty came out. In the era of social media, you showed us the darker side of romance. Additionally, Mission Impossible brought the essence of vintage Hollywood into the era of contemporary blockbusters. Every conclusion is similar to closing a chapter in your personal life. It combines progress with nostalgia. It's recognizing how these tales influenced your sense of humor, taste, and possibly even friendship or love. That's why it hurts. We're losing parts of who we were when we first saw the episodes, in addition to the shows themselves. What happens after the streaming shift? Additionally, these finales represent a sea change in entertainment. Streaming is a mature practice. Carefully constructed endings are taking the way of the period of infinite seasons and reboots. Movie studios are realizing that fans want resolution. We want stories that have meaning, not just stories that never end. A show respects the audience's investment when it concludes on its own terms. 2025 is a year of well-executed endings. Naturally, though, every conclusion raises the question of what will happen next. New series, interests, and fictitious universes will constantly be vying for our attention. It's acceptable to stay here for a bit, though, to grieve, think, and express gratitude to the stories that have brought us this far. The afterglow of emotion. It's not just about the story's conclusion. If you've ever cried at a finale, it's also about what it meant to you. The routines we developed around these shows, rewatching our favorite sequences, talking about theories online, and attending premieres with friends, became minor pillars of our everyday existence. Therefore, there is more than just stillness as the screen goes black for the final time. It's like bidding farewell to a piece of yourself that was a part of that universe. Perhaps it explains why their endings seem so gloomy. Because they serve as a reminder that things change with time, people mature, and even the things we cherish most do. Bidding farewell. And I'm grateful. We will all be watching those last moments with a mixture of pride and sadness as 2025 comes to a close. In addition to crying for the characters who aren't able to find peace, we will likely revisit the entire series to relive the complete experience. Feeling sentimental about it is acceptable. Because these were important stories. They provided us with something to cling to in times of uncertainty. They allowed us to laugh when life seemed boring, weep when we needed to vent, and run away from reality when it got to be too much. Therefore, instead of simply lamenting the finales of Stranger Things, The Summer I Turned Pretty, Mission Impossible, and You, let's honor their influence. Last remark. Perhaps it's not a bad thing that 2025 will be the year of endings. Perhaps it serves as a reminder that beauty can come from closure. That stories are supposed to change, come to an end, and leave something behind, just like individuals. Who knows? In years to come, we'll likely look back on this period with nostalgia, recalling the characters we adored too much, the evenings spent anticipating new episodes, and how these tales filled our hearts with excitement. The best stories don't truly stop when the screen goes black. They remain with us in the form of sayings, recollections, and the subdued solace of knowing they had genuine meaning.